good afternoon, good evening, everyone. So yeah, I'm just making a quick video to talk about positions for next week. In terms of like the markets, kind of what we're looking at. Um, potential entries and stuff. Now, there's not really too much I've got my eye on. We'll talk about Dax quickly. Now, German 30. We've got a couple of potential options here. Now we can see that price is like really respecting this kind of trend line, this hourly trend line here on German 30. And we've got this level that price has really been struggling with. We can see all the kind of taps on it. Around here. Looks like it's on the daily as well. So price has actually managed to close above on the daily finally, but maybe we're kind of looking to go down and grab some liquidity from somewhere before moving up. Who knows? So if we break this trend line, I'm going to look for like just a little short, just a little short before we get along. But I'm also looking for a break and retest of this level here to see if we can kind of move to the upside where I'll just be looking to target the kind of all-time highs. Nothing too insane. Now I was actually in a position here last week. I left it because price wasn't really doing what I was hoping it to do. So price kind of broke out of this, of like this kind of weak downtrend. Retested that level, and then I just took along on there. I was usually what you see with Dax is that when it moves up quite aggressively, but it just struggled. Like we couldn't close above this level on the hourly here, and that's what I was looking at. So I trailed my stop into profit. Ended up taking like a small like 1R from it, not even a 1R, which is a bit of a shame because I actually put an order here. And what I should have been doing is just watching it and looking to double up on it, because that would have been nice. I'd end up walking away like 4% on that, because it did go up to a 2R. But it is what it is, So I'm just going to be keeping an eye on it, seeing what we can kind of get next week. I'm really hoping for a little pullback, to be honest, before we move up, but who knows. Let's just talk about New Zealand dollar. Now it's been like really weak for some time. Oh, it's been really quite strong actually for all of last week. Since kind of May, it topped out. It topped out at the end of May, and prices like been struggling to kind of break back up or break to the upside. Now we've got a really lovely opportunity for a long here. Price hasn't been able to close above this level on the 4-hour, so obviously this is like quite a key level. I'm just looking for a market structure shift on this to be able to get into a long to, kind of target some highs. We are following just this uptrend, and price has been kind of consolidative for a little while now. So maybe we do start pushing a little bit further up. But, who knows? UNZD, something very, very similar. A little bit concerned about this kind of daily head and shoulders, but not too worried about it. Prices buyers are really holding this quite well, but we'll see. There's a nice entry here kind of on the 4-hour, so I'm going to be looking for that. Not really looking to go too short at this particular moment in time. I feel like we kind of missed the shorts, so we missed the shorts early last week, so I'm just waiting on the long positions now. Euro AED, I don't know what's going on here. I'm just kind of going to be ignoring this for a little while until I've got some clarity. Now I can see on the 4-hour here, this is the entry on this 4-hour. It's breaking and closing above on that entry or this level here on the 4-hour, and then be looking for a long just to kind of go up to that level up there. Great British Pound AUD is a lot clearer. So we have got this head and shoulders yet again that is kind of that has appeared, but we haven't really had, posted a short entry here, which was the structure shift, and the selling usually you would see selling like this, for example. You say when it comes to short in the market. It's generally a lot easier to short the market than it is to long it, because it goes down a lot quicker. and we're just not seeing it. But what we are seeing is a 4 hour trend, downtrend, and it's very, very weak and very minor. So there's some real clarity on Great British Pound AUD and Great British Pound NZD in terms of, you know, what we're kind of looking at for the market next week. Been some, you know, some good kind of trades that we've looked at and other things, but yeah, there's nothing else is really jumping out at me at this particular moment in time. These are what I'm looking for. Just the kind of longs on these, and potentially a long on German on DAX. On DAX in one way or another. No short opportunities on these pairs at all. We're now looking, you know, you're looking at longs. I don't really like to buy these pairs because I'm not very great at it. But yeah, so that's the kind of, you know, that's the play for the moment, at least anyway. And yeah, again, I say I haven't really got anything else. You know, price is gonna, well, the market's open in literally like 4 hours, so we'll see what happens overnight, see what kind of positions can be got, and you know, hope for a week that wasn't really, you know, this week was really slow, really slow week. Not many entries and stuff, so hopefully we get a better week next week. And yeah, but anyway, I hope you enjoyed your weekend, guys, and we'll speak when the market's open. I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow.